Imagine a life where peace is not something you chase or stumble upon once in a while, and then lose again, but something steady that lives inside you. A life where happiness does not depend on what you own, who approves of you, or how the world treats you today. A life where calm is not a reward, but a natural state. Most people spend their entire lives searching for happiness in the wrong direction. They believe it will arrive when something changes, when they achieve more, earn more, fix themselves more, or are finally chosen, admired, or understood. But that kind of happiness is fragile. It disappears the moment circumstances shift, and they always do. The Stoics understood something most people still miss. Happiness was never meant to be hunted. It was never meant to depend on outcomes. True happiness comes from within, not as an idea, but as a practice. It has always been there, quietly present beneath the noise of fear, doubt, comparison, and expectation, buried under the constant pressure to be more, do more, prove more. When you live your life chasing approval or comfort, peace feels rare. When you live in alignment with yourself, peace becomes familiar. This is not about pretending life is easy. It is about learning how to remain steady when life is difficult. No storm, no failure, no judgment from others has the power to disturb you unless you hand that power over. Happiness, in the Stoic sense, is not excitement or pleasure. It is inner stability. It is knowing who you are and standing firmly in that truth. And once you learn to do that, happiness stops feeling distant. It stops feeling conditional. It becomes something you carry with you quietly and consistently, no matter what unfolds around you. Step 2 is learning to be grateful, and this is where happiness starts to settle instead of chasing you from a distance. Gratitude is not pretending everything is perfect. It is training your mind to see what is already steady and alive in front of you. Most people suffer not because their lives are empty, but because their attention is always pointed toward what is missing. The Stoics warned against this habit because it quietly turns life into a constant comparison. When you measure yourself against what you do not have, peace never arrives. Seneca reminded us that the poor man is not the one with little, but the one who always wants more. Gratitude interrupts that hunger. It pulls you back into the present and reminds you that you are breathing, standing, thinking, and still capable of choosing your response. When you wake up and notice the light in the room, the steadiness of your body, the fact that you made it through another night, something shifts. You stop waiting for happiness to appear later and begin allowing it now. Gratitude also protects you from resentment and envy because it roots your self-worth inside instead of placing it in comparison with others. When you practice gratitude daily, even for simple things like silence, warmth, or a calm moment, your mind slowly rewires itself. You begin to notice peace instead of absence. You begin to feel grounded instead of restless. This is why the Stoics treated gratitude as discipline, not emotion. It is something you return to even on hard days, especially on hard days. Over time, gratitude changes how you speak to yourself. The inner voice softens. The pressure eases. You stop demanding more from life before allowing yourself to feel content. And in that shift, happiness stops being a reward you chase and becomes a quiet state you carry with you. Step 3 is living in alignment with your true nature, and this is where happiness becomes stable instead of fragile. The Stoics believe that peace comes when your actions match your values, not when your life looks impressive from the outside. Most inner conflict is born from contradiction. You say you value honesty but act out of fear. You say you want peace but keep choosing chaos. Over time, this disconnect drains you. It creates a quiet self-distrust that no amount of praise can fix. Living in alignment means closing that gap. It means deciding who you want to be and letting your daily choices reflect that decision, even when it is uncomfortable. When you live this way, you stop needing approval because your conscience becomes your anchor. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily that a good life is built through good actions repeated, not through pleasure or recognition. When your behavior matches your inner code, something settles inside you. You no longer feel divided. You stop second-guessing yourself as much because you know you acted with intention. Like a tree growing toward light, you do not compete with others or rush your growth. You focus on what is yours to nurture. Each morning, asking yourself what kind of person you want to be is not a motivational exercise, it is a grounding one. When you act in line with that answer, even small actions feel meaningful. Happiness follows naturally, not because you chased it, but because you created conditions where self-respect could exist. Alignment gives you peace because you are no longer at war with yourself. Step 4 is finding peace in the present moment, because this is where happiness actually lives. Most people suffer not because of what is happening, but because their mind is trapped somewhere else. Regret pulls them backward. Anxiety drags them forward. The present is ignored, even though it is the only place where life can be touched. The Stoics treated the present moment as sacred because it is the only thing fully under your control. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that distress comes not from events, but from the meaning we assign to them. When you slow down and return to now, the noise begins to fade. Breathing becomes steady. The body relaxes. You realize that in this exact moment, you are alive, safe, and capable. Peace is not created by fixing your entire future or erasing your past. It is created by paying full attention to what is in front of you. When stress rises, the Stoic response is simple. Pause. Breathe. Ask what is within your power right now. Act only on that and release the rest. This practice trains the mind to stop panicking about what it cannot control. Over time, presence becomes a habit. You stop living in imagined disasters and start living in reality. Happiness grows quietly here, not as excitement, but as calm acceptance. Being happy with yourself is not a rush of emotion. It is the steady feeling of being at home in your own life, moment by moment. The final step is understanding that happiness with yourself is not a mood you stumble into, it is a way you choose to live every single day. The Stoics never promised constant pleasure or comfort. What they offered was something far stronger, inner stability. Being happy with yourself means accepting who you are without needing permission from the world. It means knowing that your peace does not rise and fall with praise or criticism, success or failure. Marcus Aurelius wrote that no one can harm you unless you allow it, because your character and your response are always yours. When you live this way, challenges stop feeling like punishments and start feeling like training. You speak to yourself with honesty instead of cruelty. You meet setbacks with discipline instead of despair. You stop begging the outside world to validate what you already know inside. Happiness becomes quiet, steady, and unshakable. It comes from living with virtue, gratitude, presence, and self-respect. When you align your thoughts with clarity and your actions with your values, you no longer chase happiness. You embody it. You stand firm in who you are, grounded, calm, and whole. This is the Stoic promise, not a perfect life, but a peaceful one. Not a life without struggle, but a life where struggle no longer controls you. When you learn to live this way, happiness stops being something you look for and becomes something you carry with you wherever you go.